Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we are going to cover the concept of operators that are present in C programming. Okay, and basically we are just going to cover two of the operators that is present in C programming. So let's first define that what's exactly an operator in C programming. So operator is nothing but a symbol that tells our compiler to perform some mathematical or logical task. In C programming, the operators can be classified in six categories. Uh, that is arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, and miscellaneous operators. But in this video, we are just going to cover the concept of arithmetic operators, and all the operators that are present would be explained later once we complete the concept of conditional statements because that thing is necessary to understand the logic behind these operators. And bitwise operator would be covered once we start manipulation with bits. So bits is nothing but we all know that 1 byte equal to 8 bits, and at machine level everything is present at 0 and 1. So if a number is stored, it is converted into form of bits because during the once our compiler is going to store the data that we provide in the form of bits only. So bitwise operators are used to manipulate with the bits. Okay, so in this video we are just going to cover the arithmetic operators, and I will just give you the brief about relational operators. So arithmetic operators are nothing but the mathematical operators. That is, plus will add the two variables, minus will subtract the two variables, multiplication will multiply the two variables, and division will divide the two variable. Now this is something new, that is modulo operator. So modulo operator basically helps us to get the remainder. Okay, so now consider that a equal to 20, b equal to 10, and a modulo b, that is 20 modulo 10. As we know that 20 divided by 10 equal to 2 as quotient and 0 as remainder, therefore it would give the answer as 0. And plus plus and minus minus are basically increment and decrement operator. The plus plus operator increments the value by 1, and minus minus operator decrements the value by 1. So consider that 10 is the value, so a plus plus will give us the result as 11, and a minus minus would b minus, that is, if a is equal to 10, then a minus minus will give us the result as 9. Okay, so this is basics about the arithmetic operators, and we are going to see the hands-on soon in this video only. Now let me just brief you about the relational operator. Relational operator basically helps us to see the relationship between two variables. Consider that a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. We know that 10 is less than 20. Okay, and the relational operators always gives the answer in the form of booleans, that is true and false, or say 0, that is 1 and 0 respectively. Okay, so equal to operator gives the value true if both of the variables are equal. Okay, and if both of the variables are not equal, then it will return false. Similarly, not equal to gives the value true if both variables are not equal, and in the other case it's false. The greater than gives the value true if variable 1 greater than variable 2. If this particular arithmetic expression is present, that variable 1 is greater than variable 2, and if variable 1 is greater than variable 2, then it will return true, or else it will false. Similarly is the case with less than, greater than equal to, and less than equal to. We all know that what exactly is less than equal to sign means, what greater than equal to sign means, and what exactly only the less than sign means. Okay, so this is something about the arithmetic operators and relational operators. The concept of all the remaining operators would be explained in the later videos when we cover once we cover the that is conditional parts. Okay, so now just let's begin with the hands-on session. So let me just include an file, that is standard input output file, and I will just move to the integer type function, that is main, and I will just begin with the braces. Okay, and I will just mention an variable of type integer, that is declare a variable of type integer and give the value 20, that is initialize it to 20, and other variable is equal to b, and I will just give it the value as 20. Okay, in this video I am just going to express you that how can we print the result of the mathematical expressions that we are going to use. there are two methods. First method is that you can directly print by using the arithmetic functions or say arithmetic expression in the printf statement, and other method is first you store the result of that arithmetic function in some variables and then you print the variable. So I am just going to assign five integer five variables now. That is, I will just give them as sum. Okay, and I will just give the value is equal to a plus b. So what happens in this particular statement is I am declaring a variable here whose name is sum and it's of type integer. Why I have given the type integer? Because a and b both are integers. Then addition, subtraction, and multiplication. These three particular functions is always going to return the integer type. Okay. So I am just writing a variable of type integer whose name is sum, and what I am doing is I am initializing it to the value of the mathematical expression a plus b. Therefore, the value of a plus b would be stored in the sum. Okay. So this is one way by which you can, and after that we are just going to print this sum using printf statement. This is one way by which you can print. Other way is that you just directly pass a plus b as an argument in the printf statement using the format specifier, depending on what exactly do you want. That is, you want an integer, you want an character, you want an floating type. So let's have a look at what exactly we can do. So I need five types of variable, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulo. The increment and decrement would be explained later in this video only, so don't worry about that. Okay, division, and I will just write multiplication and modulo. Okay, now you may have a question that I said that in case of this particular that is sum, multiplication, and subtraction, we are just getting the integer value and you agreed to that. But what in the case of division, it is not necessary that always a should be greater than b, that is the nominator is greater than the denominator. In that case you need some floating floating data type or the double data type, so that we can just store the decimal value. We know that if nominator is greater than denominator, then we may get the integer value. Okay, but that particular integer value is got when it is perfectly divisible. Okay, but other than it, we can also get the quotient in the form of that is float also. Therefore, what I am going to do is I am just going to assign the type float. Okay, that is some decimal number to division and modulo variable, because it is not necessary that always I am going to get the result as integer only. It can be a decimal number also in case of division and modulo. Okay, so I am just going what I have done here is I have just declared five variables, that is sum, subtraction, division, multiplication, and modulo. In case of sum, subtraction, and multiplication, I have given the data type as int, because if two particular variables are of type integer, then sum, multiplication, and division would be always in the terms of integer only. We all know that. But it is not necessary in case of division and modulo function. Therefore, we are just going to give float because it can store the decimal values also. Okay, so this is something that we have done till now. Now what I want is that I just want the user to give the value. So as we have just learned the concept of scanf, I will write that is printf enter a. Okay, and after that I'm just going to use scanf function and I will just take the input from the user. Okay, I will just take the input from the user. So basically we are just going to take the input from the user for this particular function. So I will just write end sign, and what I want is a, and after that I'm going to use a printf statement once again, and what I'm going to do is enter b, and I will use a colon here so that I can just give a space between the input and the printf statement. So once again scanf %d comma and b. Okay, so this is basically what we have done till now. that first of all we have declared two variables, and after declaring those two variables what we have done is we have just take the arguments from the user that what should be the value of these two variables. Okay, so now what are we going to do further is we are just going to use the printf statement to get the result of the arithmetic expressions that are present. Okay, so let's begin. So I will just use this printf function so as to print sum. Now sum is basically of type integer, therefore I am going to use format specifier as %d. So %d, and after that %d I'm just going to assign the value of sum. Okay, because I wanted to get the answer of the sum variable. Okay, and as I said that we can do it with the other way around, that is printf. I'm just going to use the format specifier in which I want the answer of the particular expression, so a plus b. So I'm just passing expression as an argument to the printf statement. Okay, so I need this printf statement for at least 5 times. Okay, so I've just pasted it for 4 times more. Okay, one it is going to store the sum, other is going to store the multiplication value, and it is the that is definitely integer type, therefore I have just assigned as %d. Other than it, I am just going to give the subtraction value, and definitely I am just going to change the variable here also, that is expression here also. Now we have assigned float, therefore in case of div I am just going to assign float here, that is %f, and %f a division b. And in case of modulo, that is mod, therefore it's also floats, I will just assign %f, and I will just use n% sign here. And this is extra printf statement, and I will just remove it. And in every printf statement I am just going to add the /n, that is escape character, to get a new line. Okay, and between every functions I am just going to use an enter so that it is clear to you. So first two printf statement should print the sum, next two should print the multiplication, the next two should print the subtraction, next two should print division, and it should print the modulo. And you can just change it to %f here because modulo is of type float. So I think this is something of whole program that will cover us with the concept of, that is, arithmetic operators. So now just end the program with return 0 because program ain't returning anything, and I will just check if I have not made any error here. So let's see if the program is running well or not. So I will just run the program. It's not running because printf here was not written properly in the second line. So I will just change it in every of the printf statement. You just need to take care of the spellings, because if you don't take care of the spelling, then the program won't understand that it's a keyword. Okay, so now I have just started with the program. So first of all I will enter the case where a is greater than b, therefore we are getting all the integer value. But as in some cases we have used the format specifier as float, we will get the terms in the answer in the terms of decimal point, that is being followed by 0 in the case where a is greater than b, and a is completely divisible by b. Okay, and b is basically 10 here. So let's see what's the thing that we are getting. Okay, we have just forgot the /n thing here, so just to check that you are providing /n so that we can get the answer in new lines. So I will just close the console and run the program again, and I will just assign the value once again, a equal to 10, b equal to 20. So definitely sum should be written in first two, that is 10, 20 plus 10 is 30. In other two printf statement multiplication, therefore 20 to 10 is 200. In other two we are needed to give the that is subtraction, therefore 10 10 is present. And other than it we are going to return the division. Okay, that is divisional value, that is a by b. So 10 by that is 20 by 10 is basically 2, so it's basically returning 2. Now what's happening here is we are not getting the value of a by b, that is it's showing us 0, and the reason behind it is unknown, and we will definitely find it. Okay, why is it showing 0 here? In this particular printf statement, we are just returning the modulo, that is remainder. So 20 divided by 10 is basically 20 divided by 10 basically is just assume that 20 divided by 10, so it's basically 20 divided by 10, so 10 to the 20, and 20 minus 20 is 0, so remainder is 0. What's happening here is basically a and b are of type integers, and we are giving the format specifier percentage %f. So in this particular statement, we need the concept of typecasting, and we will definitely go in detail in the upcoming session. So what I am going to do is I will just assign the value of float, and this is the concept of typecasting, that we are just changing, that is casting the data into different type. Okay, a is basically integer, b is basically integer, but when I pass this argument here, I want a to be float, because I have just used percentage %f as the format specifier, and I need a by b of that, and if it's not so, then it will return 0. What happens here is I've already assigned the variable as float itself. Okay, so what happens here is a by b is going to return some as a and b are integer, it is going to return some decimal point value. But as dv is already a float number, it is basically it is easy for it to store the floating value. But in this case, we are going to need the concept of typecasting. So let me just close this console and run this program again, and you may see that we are going to get the answers. Okay, so now see, you are getting the answer, that is sum is 30, multiplication is 200, then subtraction is 10, then we are getting the answer 2 here before we are getting 0. So this is the concept of typecasting, and we are going to dive in the concept of typecasting in the upcoming videos. So let's just try to understand that what's typecasting in the next upcoming video. Till then, stay connected to this lecture. And here the percentage f mod is going to give us the modulus value. Okay, so these are all of the functions, that is arithmetic function, that we have seen till now. Now what I want to show you is what does the printf do, what does the increment operator do. So increment operator of an integer value will always give the integer value only. Okay, so suppose a equal to 20. Okay, then a plus plus should return 21. But let's see what happens when we do uh, printf percentage d a plus plus. Let's have a look that what's the answer. Every one of you may think that answer should be 21. If a equal to 20, then a plus plus should be 21. But let's see that is this particular printf statement giving us the answer 21 or not. Okay, so let's close this console, run the program. A is 20 and b is 10. But what's happening here? Printf statement is returning the value 20, but why? Even after incrementing it. Here, the concept of post increment and pre increment comes in the action. Now let's see what's the difference between post increment and that is pre increment. Okay, so I will just use percentage %d as format specifier and /n so as to give new line, and I am just going to use plus plus b. Okay, and let's have a look at the difference between plus plus b and a plus plus, that is the difference between the pre-increment and post-increment operators. So I'm just going to assign value 10 and 20 and 10, and you can see that when we did a plus plus, a value is 20, it is returning 20, but when we did plus plus b, then it's returning 11. So why is this particular thing happening? So the reason behind it is you are using the concept of post increment here. So what happens in the case of post increment is the variable a is first of all assigned the value, and then it is incremented. Okay. Therefore, in case of this particular post increment, the value a is first assigned the value. The a is first assigned the value, that is equal to 20, and as it's post incremented, it will be incremented later to 21, but for now its value is assigned as 20. But in case of pre-increment, the first of all, the increment takes place and then the value is assigned. So int b, okay, we are just giving the value as 10. But as we are doing pre-increment, therefore b is first assigned the value. Therefore, sorry, first it is increment. Therefore, b is equal to b plus 1 first, and then b equal to then the value of that b plus 1 is stored in b. Therefore, b equal to 10 plus 1, that is 11, and then particular 11 is stored in b. Okay, so this particular statement returns us with this particular value, that is incremented value, but the a plus plus returns us with 20. Now, what's exactly happening is, for that you need to use one more printf statement, and I am just going to return the value of a. Okay, and let's see what happens. Now a plus plus so shown that the value is 20 when we give the 20 and 10 as the value of a and b respectively. But now let's see what this particular statement prints. You think that post increment operator should is assigned, therefore nothing, no changes are made, therefore it should print 20 only. So I think that you are wrong in that concept. I will like to clear the concept more. So once you assign 20 and 10, you can see here that last printf statement is giving us the value 21. So what happens exactly is, when you execute the statement a plus plus, a is first assigned the value 20, and therefore it prints the assigned value, that is 20. And after that printing, that is increment statement is performed, that is a plus plus, that is it is increment by 1. Therefore the new value that is assigned to a is incremented by 1. Therefore, when we print a variable in next printf statement, we are going to get 21. But in the case of pre-increment, when we are pre-incrementing it, the value is first incremented and then assigned. Therefore, incremented value is only printed first. And if you run the statement, that is printf percentage %d, uh, and I'm just going to give the value of b, okay, then it should return 11 only, because it is already incremented, and now it's not going to be incremented. So I will just give the value 10 and 20, so you can just see that 11 is the answer of b. Okay, so this is the difference between post increment and pre increment. In case of post increment, the value is first assigned and then it is incremented. In case of pre increment, value is first incremented and then assigned. So you need to take care of this. So this is all about the arithmetic operators in C programming. In the next session, we are going to start with the conditional statements. And regarding the typecasting, we are just going to have a look about typecasting in later sessions, when we are going to cover that what's exactly the importance of typecasting when it comes to the operations that we are going to perform in C programming. So I hope that you like this video, and I hope that if you are if you are getting familiar with C programming language, I hope that you subscribe to our channel. So thank you once again. So in next section, we will begin with the conditional statements in C programming. Till then, have a good day.